Male reproductive hormones. So today we're diving in and trying to figure out how best we can remember these male reproductive hormones and what are their implications. So I think the best way is to kind of bring it home. So when we think of males, we always think of a man, let's say to me, and he needs to ask a girl out, right? So he basically has to ask this girl out that he saw. Um, and so let's go through the story and then see if we can link the story to the hormones. So first of all, obviously the message has to be sent not to the girl yet, but to his friends, right? So he has to let his friends know that look, this is the girl that I really like. This is her. What do you guys have? Because they have to suss her out first. We always have to plan before we make our move. So obviously messages his friends, let his friends know this is the girl. Do you have like info for me before I go all in? Then the boys come in, they're like, let's do the research, right? Let's do the research. Let's put one on one together. She's always here. These are her sports. This is probably what you like about her. We get it. So now they're like having a group chat basically about her. You know what I mean? Then we obviously then gonna we're gonna go ahead. We kind of now like they've sussed it out. Men always know like the basics before they approach. So now they go ahead. They kind of heard the basics. They know you like netball. They know you loud. They know you like this and that and this. So then he goes ahead. He gets the go ahead from his friends. He makes his plans. This is probably where things are gonna happen, and that's him. He's making his move, right? So maybe this point, let's say this is like, for lack of words, like the perfect picture. Now you have to follow with me. There's a reason why you moving ahead is very different from you making your move. Like, yes, you're getting the go ahead, but you're not yet perfect. You're not dressed up. You're not like, you haven't presented yourself as a man. So this move is your perfect, you in your most masculine energy. Remember that. That's quite important, that masculinity, because that's an important hormone that differentiates males, right? Then obviously then our delivery. So this is our date. This is our, posting. This is us now as a couple. All right. So this is the story, and let's go back into the story and see actually how the story could just relate directly to the hormones and the sequence in which this would play out. When he messages his friends, we understand that this is the brain. These are the thinking. These are the masterminds behind everything. The same way in the hormonal system. This is where the first hormone, if you talk about homeostasis, would be regulated from. So the message from his friends. Again, if he doesn't have a sounding board, it's quite hard for him to think that he just felt something, but it wasn't real. So that is really important. Our homeostasis, or our message to our friends, is really that area in the brain. All right. Next, obviously, is his research. So this is the first time they go out to kind of see if it's true. Now, remember, from the brain, there is a hormone that is the first to go out. Then obviously we say let's go ahead. So that's the let's go hormone. So there's a hormone that like it's about the going, you know what I mean? It's the release basically, right? So this is the hormone of release. And then obviously in the next portion, we kind of mention the fact that we are trying to jump into a more perfect version, or like we said, the most important hormone regulated in males, which I'm sure we all can assume is testosterone. So that is our perfect male hormone. That hormone makes our males, all right? And then obviously our last one is our result, all delivery, and what it means for us to have this hormone. So basically, in essence, our brain is a GnRH that we're speaking of. So this one is the message, but also that word message plays on the fact of homeostasis. We understand an increase, decrease, allows for the first hormone, which is our FSH, to be released. So we get GnRH, we have FSH, and then after that first release, then we have the L for let's go, which is our LH, our luteinizing hormone. So very important. So first was our follicle stimulating hormone, FF, LL, luteinizing hormone, which is our let's go, and then our perfect image of our man, or testosterone. You get it, testosterone. Our testosterone, again, our perfect image, and then obviously our results, depending on where we are and what outcome we are looking to achieve. All right, so that'll actually be at our actual gonads, or that's just again the production of sperm, basically. All right, so this is Dumi's story. He's just trying to ask a girl out, and he actually helps us understand not just the hormones but the ordering of the hormones in our male reproductive system. Let's jump into it so that it makes maybe a little bit better sense. So we start with our goniotropic releasing hormone. Again, like we said, this hormone is found in the brain, and also a really nice hormone in that homeostasis. Understanding that when we have a decrease in our end result hormone, this gets stimulated because it gets the gonads going. So it is really in charge of everything sexual, right? In this case, we are dealing with a signal that needs to be sent to all our male type hormones to get a regulation. So again, this is found in the brain, and this is basically our signal. Then we have the first step. So our first step, F, reminds you, it would be our F for follicle stimulating hormone. We always say it's in the word, it's a follicle that stimulates. But really, it's just the first step. So if you think about it, if a message is sent to the gonads, the first thing it has to do is to get the follicles, which again would be the sperm, or in essence, it's the first step in our reproductive, or our more like development of our sperm. All right, so again, F for first step would be F for follicle stimulating hormone, and this would be our sperm developing. So it's the development of our sperm. Now, as it develops, we then gonna jump into another important aspect. Again, sperms are developing. Again, slightly a little bit different than females, but we can start getting sperm development. After we have, so just for us to better understand, so this is our fertilizer. So we fertilize our sperm first, all right? So fertilize the sperm first, F for fertilizers, F for first. So that's kind of where we start. Then we move on to LH. So sometimes it's hard to see the difference. So the first one just fertilize the sperm. The LH is the one that gets things going. I think that's a nice way to differentiate completely. Follicle is the first step, the main development. It just fertilizes the sperm. But the LH actually deals with the thing that gets things going. And that works in the leindig. So again, that L for luteinizing, L for the cells that it works with, L for let's go. Our leindig cells, which release our testosterone, which you can understand is very different from the development of sperm, all right? So yes, so very important that alpha leindig cells, alpha let's go, and L again for our luteinizing hormone. Very easy to remember. So let's zone in now to our perfect image created by our favorite hormone, all females, testosterone. So this gives our men their beards, it gives them their confidence, which actually, is actually found in the hormone. It gives them their body, so very broad, very strong, and again, like their deep voice. So many amazing things from testosterone. So then we have the release of testosterone. So again, we had the release of FSH, the release of LH, but the release of LH in the leindig cells causes the release of testosterone. The release of testosterone, one of its effects, apart from all these many effects, is also then the release of the sperm. So we understand that the sperm was developed by our FSH, but the sperm is then better produced. Our sperm is then like maturated and allowed to release by testosterone, and then sperm is either obviously produced or stored depending on what we need. So again, GnRH, FSH, LH, only from the Leydig cells, gives us testosterone. Testosterone is the circulating hormone that then allows our sperms, obviously, either to be produced if we're going to use it, or again, just to be like matured and kind of just stored up to be stored. So yeah, so that is like one of the ways that we could remember our male reproductive system. I know there could be other mnemonics, other ways that you remember it, ensuring that you obviously remember the hormone, where it comes from, where it acts, and also how other hormones do not do its role. So there are many ways that we could learn this, but I think when you have like 3 minutes and the answer needs to like come out of you, it really is nice when we've kind of make a way to remember it nice and simply. All right. So really remembering the whole reason that we're doing this is obviously is to get our sperm. There are definitely other more slower parts with the male reproductive system that we can still add on in. So this is a very general summary. Dumi is just asking a girl out. We're talking about the GnRH, which is our message from our brain, our FSH, which is like our research, our first step, our fertilizer, our LH, which is our let go, and our Leydig cells that release our testosterone, which is our perfect hormone, again, for what